Day 393 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 423, reconstruct original digits from English. The difficulty level is medium, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given a string S containing an out-of-order English representation of digits 0 through 9, return the digits in ascending order. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple enough, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have the input S equals a string 0W0. It equals not a 0, it equals a string OWOZTNEOER. And the output is 0, 1, 2. So let's break this down one step further and see how they got this output from this input, right? So they give us the input of letters or characters, and we want to create numbers 1 through 9 using these characters and then return those numbers in order. So in this case, you can see we have a Z right here, we have an E right here, we have an R right, we have an R right here, and we have an O right here. That will allow us to spell the number 0. So we could put 0. We know 0 is the first number in 0 through 9, so we could put 0 first. Boom. Then we have 1. But we won't know the output, so we won't know what numbers we're looking for first. But this is just an easy example. So the next number we have I think we already used this 0, so we have a 1 right here, or we have an O right here, an N right here, and we could use an E, right? We have another E. We have 2 E's. We have 1 E for 0, 1 E for 1. I can't remember which E we used, but we have 1 for each, and that's how we spell 1, so we could put a 1 right here. Then we have a T right here, we have a W right here, and we have an O over here. Boom. So that spells 2. So in the end, we could spell the numbers. With this string, we can spell numbers 0, we can spell numbers 1, and we can spell numbers 2, and we'll use every character in this string. Boom. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. Example 2 will be a little bit easier to understand because the numbers are not as jumbled up and confusing. Or excuse me, not the numbers, but the characters, the letters are not as jumbled up and confusing. We can easily see the numbers in example 2. So in example 2, we have the input S equals a string of characters F, V, I, E, F, U, R, and O. The output is 4 and 5. So as you can see, we could create 4 right here, right? We could just rearrange these letters. We get the F, we get the O, we get the U, and we get the R right there. Boom. We can spell 4 right there, and we can spell 5 right here, right? We have the F right here, we have the I right here, then we have the V, then we have the E. Now, as you can see, in this case, it would look like the 5 will come before the 4, but we have to return the digits in ascending order. So we have a 5, we can spell 5 and we can spell 4. So we put the numbers in ascending order and we put the 4 first and then we put the 5. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. It's really quite easy to understand once you see what's going on. We just have to take these characters, find which numbers we could spell with those characters that are given, and then we have to create the numbers for those characters and return them in ascending order. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all. So let's get started. Now, the first thing we are going to do is we're going to create an array of strings which will represent the English words for digits 0 through 9, right? So that's how we'll know which letters are in which digits, correspond to which digits. So for that, we could just say, we can say let strings, so this is going to represent the strings of the numbers, equal, open up the square brackets, it's going to be an array of strings, open up the quotation marks, first number we're just going to spell out 0 to come outside the quotation marks, then we're going to spell out 1, come outside the quotation marks, then new quotation marks for each letter. I mean for each number. So 2, come outside, do it again for 3. We're going all the way up to 9, y'all. So 3, do it again for 4, do it again for 5. Sorry, don't forget the comma. 6. Sorry, y'all. 6, 7, 8, and we can stop at 9. Boom. So this is 0 through 9 right here, spelled out in strings. Then we're going to do the corresponding digit character. So we can say let digits, and this time we're just going to pass in the integers or the digits, right? So we're going to say let digits equal is going to be an array, and then we can open up the parentheses, open up the quotation marks. We said 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that for the digits. Now the order in which to process digits to uniquely identify them using a unique letter. So for that, we're going to say, we're going to come underneath this and we're going to say let order, and we're going to do the even numbers first. So we're going to say equals, it's going to be a string. We're going to say 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we're going to say 3, 5, 7, 9, and we're going to put the 1 last. Now we need letters that uniquely identify each digit in order to in the order specified above. So example, Z is unique to 0, W is unique to 2, etc. Right? So for that, we come right here. We could say let look for open, excuse me, then we'll say equals, we're going to say array, open up the parentheses again, pass in the, open up the quotation marks, we're going to say Z, then we're going to say 0, W, R, U, F, X, V, G, I, just like that. Boom. Then we're going to come right here underneath this, and we're going to create a frequency map of each character in the input string. So we're going to say var freaks equals, open up the square bracket, character colon, and come outside the square brackets and put parentheses like that. Now we need a result digit string to be built. So we're going to declare a variable. As you can see, our result is a string of digits. So that's what we're going to create now. We're going to say var res equals, we're going to start it off as just a blank string. Now we need to count the frequency of each character in the input string. So for that, we come underneath this, we can say for C and S. We can open up the brackets and we can say freaks square bracket C comma default colon 0, come outside of that plus equals 1. So for each character we see in S, what we're going to do, we're going to keep count. The count is going to start from 0, and each time we see that character, we're going to increment it by 1. So we're going to add 1 each time we see that character. Come underneath that, we need to process the digits in the specified order. So for that, we're going to say for digit in order. Open up the bracket. We're going to get the index of the current digit character. So we're going to say let D equal digits dot first index. Open up the brackets. We're going to say $0 equals digit. Boom. Come outside of that. We're going to force unwrap it with the exclamation point. Just like that. Then, while the unique identifying letter for this digit exists in the input, we're going to say, or we're going to come underneath this, and we're going to say, while freaks, open up square bracket, look for square bracket D, come outside both the square brackets, exclamation point equals nil, and freaks come out at night. Y'all know about that. It's like, now freaks, look for square bracket D again. Come outside of that, we're gonna say exclamation point equals 0. Then we're gonna open up the brackets and we're gonna decrease the frequency of all letters in the word representing the digit. So we're gonna say for C in strings, square bracket D. We're gonna open up the brackets and we're gonna say freaks, square bracket C, comma, default, colon 0. This time we're going to say minus equals 1. So that means each time we see this character in strings D, we're going to start the count from 0 and we're going to subtract 1 every time. Boom. Then we are going to say, or we're going to append a digit to the result. So for that, we're going to come underneath this and we're going to say res.append, open up the parentheses, digit. Boom. Now, what we are going to do is, let me see. All we have to do is sort the result string to return the digits in ascending order. So for that, we just come right here and we can say return string, open up the parentheses, res dot sorted, parentheses. Now that should be all she wrote, y'all. It should be that simple. Let's go ahead and give this a run. Make sure it works before we submit it. Okay, we got an error somewhere. Think we're missing a comma. Yep, right here. That should be a comma. Let's run it again. Let's see. Okay, cannot find looked for. Sorry, that should be look for, not looked. Let's try this one more time. Let's see. And it's accepted, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Let's submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, look at that, y'all. 51 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. Excuse me. That's what I like to see, y'all. So with that being said, make sure you get one more look at the code. This is the top part. Boom. This is the bottom part. Boom. And yeah, with that being said, y'all, I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.